Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 514 based on novel. So let's start. Dao Feishan's body trembled. That gaze had caused his mind to tremble. He had heard about Wang Lin but never considered Wang Lin a threat. After he heard that the sovereign and the others had killed Wang Lin with a trap, though they were making a fuss about Wang Lin over nothing. However, it wasn't until this moment that he realized how terrifying Wang Lin was. It had only taken one arrow to kill the sovereign, which he still couldn't believe. The fear in his heart reached a peak. Now, while being gazed at by Wang Lin, his heart pounded rapidly. Wang Lin's gaze was like a sword that swept across the sky and landed on Dao Feishan. Dao Feishan subconsciously backed up a few steps and his face turned pale. He had almost lost his wits. Wang Lin's words were like the sound of death, leaving his mind blank. He was only at the Nirvana Void stage, and when facing Wang Lin, he had the illusion that he was looking up at a mountain. At this moment, remorse drowned him like a raging sea. He should not have provoked Mu Bingmai. He shouldn't have had thoughts about the Lord of the Sealed Realms woman. This was the root of his death. However, in the end, he was still a third-step cultivator. Although he was shaking and felt extreme fear, there was still a sense of clarity in his mind. He knew that he was almost certain to die. If there was a hint of hope, it was Mu Bingmai. As Wang Lin spoke, Dao Feishan didn't hesitate to charge toward Mu Bingmai after he subconsciously retreated a few steps. His eyes were filled with madness. A madness for survival. He was going to capture Mu Bingmai and trade her for his survival. This was his last and only hope. The 100 feet distance was nothing for a third-step cultivator, but this depended on who was watching. In Wang Lin's eyes, Dao Feishan wasn't qualified. He got within 10 feet of Mu Bingmai, but she didn't dodge at all. She coldly looked at Dao Feishan, her beautiful eyes revealing disdain. Wang Lin's expression remained calm and he took a step forward. His speed was far beyond Dao Feishan's imagination. His shadow was still there when he appeared before Mu Bingmai and his hand reached out. It was as if Dao Feishan had presented himself and Wang Lin had caught his wrist. "You're courting death." Wang Lin spoke coldly. He stepped forward while holding Dao Feishan's body. Dao Feishan couldn't control his body at all as Wang Lin dragged him into the air, and he was smashed into the ground below. A thunderous rumble rang out and miserable scream echoed. Only then did the surrounding cultivators react. After Dao Feishan's body smashed into the ground, he was thrown into the air by Wang Lin once more. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Just as he had said, Mu Bingmai was not his lover, but she was Wang Ping's mother. This Dao Feishan had dared to have vile intents toward her, and this was something Wang Lin would never allow. He stepped forward and instantly closed in on Dao Feishan. His right hand pointed at Dao Feishan's chest and a power surged into Dao Feishan's body. This power went for Dao Feishan's right hand, which exploded into a mess of flesh and blood. Without pausing, Wang Lin pointed once more. A thunderous rumble echoed and Dao Feishan's left arm collapsed. Dao Feishan let out a miserable roar after losing both his arms. He was powerless before Wang Lin, and the rest of the Outer Realm cultivators were still shocked by that arrow, so no one dared to come to save him. Even if they were to come, they were in no rush. Wang Lin's right hand pointed out several times. Dao Feishan's legs shattered into a mess. The last palm was the palm of death. After destroying Dao Feishan's limbs, he mercilessly smashed down on Dao Feishan's forehead. Popping sounds echoed inside Dao Feishan. He coughed out large amounts of blood and his eyes dimmed. Even his miserable screams weakened. Then his body trembled and exploded. Blood splattered everywhere, but none of it landed on Wang Lin. Wang Lin waved his sleeve and all the blood was pushed away. After his body collapsed, Dao Feishan's origin soul was seriously injured but not dead. He flew out of his collapsed body and was in a daze when Wang Lin grabbed his neck. Wang Lin mercilessly squeezed, and with a bang, a third-step Nirvana Void cultivator died. This bloody scene caused the Outer Realm cultivators to gasp and retreat. The burly man before Qing Shui felt his scalp go numb. He retreated without hesitation. However, just as he started retreating, Wang Lin suddenly turned. His red eyes locked onto the burly man. The burly man trembled, and after a moment of pause, fled even faster. "You hurt my senior brother, how could I let you escape?" Wang Lin moved in a flash and appeared behind the burly man. He waved his right hand. The burly man let out a crazy roar and suddenly turned around. His hands formed seals and his palm shot toward Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the burly man coughed out blood. Cracking sounds came from his arms as they collapsed. He screamed as his body was pushed back over 1,000 feet. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with killing intent and he caught up to the burly man. His right hand closed and moved toward the burly man's chest. The burly man's eyes were filled with madness from despair. He roared as he bit the tip of this tongue and shot out an arrow of blood. It turned into a bloody gust of wind that turned into a storm that rushed toward Wang Lin. Inside the storm, there were countless red balls of thunder. This made it look like the blood arrow could destroy the world. After reaching the third step with the wind essence, you also obtained an incomplete thunder essence. That is indeed rare. Wang Lin's gaze swept over, but his hands didn't stop at all. His palm landed on the storm and then his fingers clenched into a fist as he pulled back. With this, the blood storm collapsed, and as it collapsed, the thunder inside trembled. Wang Lin was the master of thunder in this world, and his thunder essence had reached perfection. All thunder had to surrender to him, much less these small balls of thunder. Scram! Wang Lin yelled, and the countless balls of thunder inside the storm trembled and scattered in all directions. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared without a trace. The power of wind and thunder couldn't even withstand one blow from Wang Lin. After the storm was destroyed, Wang Lin stepped forward and appeared beside the burly man, who was filled with despair. He raised his right hand and formed a sword with his finger. He then casually pointed at the burly man's neck. "As punishment for injuring my senior brother, I want you to suffer the greatest pain in the world." With a point, the burly man's neck began to swell. The blood in his body moved rapidly as it was being sucked away by Wang Lin's finger. In an instant, the burly man let out a miserable scream and his face turned pale. All the blood in his body condensed at his neck. His neck was now dark purple and a giant bump had appeared on it. This bump contained all the blood in his body. All the blood in his body gathered at this point in an instant. The dark purple bump exploded and large amounts of blood sprayed everywhere until the very last drop of blood was gone. His scream was heart-wrenching. This kind of pain was difficult to describe, but even cultivators found it almost impossible to bear. However, this was not the end. Although all the blood was drawn out, the suction force remained. Thus, what was being sucked was his life force. Large amounts of vitality was sucked out from his neck. He screamed, and in an instant later, he turned into a skeleton. His eyes were bulged and his expression was terrifying. However, his face had no color left, as if he was dead. However, the suction force from Wang Lin's fingers didn't decrease but increased. Under this powerful suction force, the burly man's skeleton-like body trembled. Then his miserable screams weakened and his bones began to melt. His body turned into liquid, and when it melted, even his origin soul was pulled out. This gave a powerful blow to the minds of all the people watching. They had personally witnessed a third-step Nirvana void cultivator have everything sucked out from his body. In the end, all of it formed a ball of gas in Wang Lin's hand. This ball of gas was the burly man. Holding the ball of gas, Wang Lin arrived before Qing Shui. He pressed his free hand on Qing Shui, who had his eyes closed and was about to die. This caused Qing Shui's body to tremble and he suddenly opened his eyes. 7 strands of black gas rushed out of his body, moving like pythons. They were reluctant to leave, but they had been forced out of Qing Shui's body by Wang Lin's powerful cultivation. As the 7 strands of black gas dissipated, although Qing Shui's eyes were still dim, the death aura in his body dissipated. Then vitality began to return to his body. After dispelling the poison in Qing Shui's body, Wang Lin pushed the ball of fog he had extracted from the burly man into Qing Shui. After absorbing this, senior brother's recovery can speed up. Wang Lin glanced at the stunned woman in pink beside Qing Shui, who was staring at him, and then turned toward the sky. Outer Realm cultivators, you all have invaded my inner realm for 100 years and taken countless lives. And now you're sieging this place. Since you all don't want to leave and since you're all so determined to kill, then all of you don't need to leave. Today is the decisive battle. As Wang Lin spoke, he raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. A thunderous rumble echoed and a huge, motionless wheel appeared. Kill! Wang Lin let out a roar and then charged forward. As Wang Lin roared, the remaining inner realm cultivators became hot-blooded. They no longer hid inside the planet formation but charged out. Kill! Those that charged out with them included Qing Lin, Master Hongshan, the woman in purple from the Summoned River, as well as Mu Bingmai, the God Sect, and countless inner realm cultivators that had been pushed to the limit. There were less than 80,000 people from the inner realm remaining, but these 80,000 people were not afraid of death. With Wang Lin's roar, they went crazy. Life and death formation, suppress all life. Wang Lin pointed at the sky and the motionless wheel began to turn. As it slowly turned, a monstrous suppression force spread out and descended on the tens of thousands of outer realm cultivators. A thunderous rumble echoed and tens of thousands of outer realm cultivators coughed out blood due to the pressure. Some directly exploded and died. However, there were simply too many outer realm cultivators. After a brief panic, the outer realm cultivators struggled to let out a roar. They resisted the suppression and began a battle to the death with the inner realm cultivators. The inner realm cultivators all flew out from the planet formation. Wang Lin charged in front, and after using the life and death formation that shocked the hundreds of thousands of cultivators, he charged at the outer realm's arcane void cultivators. His goal was to kill all the third step cultivators here. His gaze swept by, and among the hundreds of thousands of cultivators, the first that Wang Lin saw was the celestial imperial concubine with the harp. This woman had used the 5 burial spell to cause Wang Lin extreme pain back then. He still remembered having his 5 internal organs wither and turned into black water. That pain was enough to turn into deep hatred. Wang Lin ignored her identity and her beauty, she had to be killed. With one step, Wang Lin turned into a ray of light and entered the outer realm army. He charged through, setting off a monstrous rumble. Anyone that blocked him collapsed and died. As Wang Lin moved forward, he left behind a bloody path. The outer realm cultivators that died had their bodies collapse, but their heads were preserved. They followed behind Wang Lin, forming a human head cape. This cape continued to grow as Wang Lin charged through the army. It was still increasing in number. A thunderous rumble echoed as he moved. The expression of the celestial imperial concubine that was locked onto by Wang Lin changed greatly and she quickly retreated. Although Wang Lin was only at the mid-stage of spirit void, she felt fear toward Wang Lin due to the Li Guang arrow, so she ignored Wang Lin's cultivation level. In her view, Wang Lin was very difficult to beat. Fighting with him would lead to her death. This was an unspeakable feeling, but it felt so real that the fear in her heart became even stronger. As she retreated, Wang Lin closed in from the distance. As he moved, blood splattered everywhere as countless cultivators screamed and died. The heads floated behind Wang Lin, giving him an aura as if he was going to destroy the world. With a single step, Wang Lin arrived within 1,000 feet of the celestial imperial concubine. His eyes were red and he let out a roar as he took a step forward. With this step, he swept across the world and space itself seemed to collapse. He appeared 100 feet away from the celestial imperial concubine. The celestial imperial concubine's face turned pale when she felt Wang Lin's killing intent. She clenched her teeth and waved her right hand at the void. The ancient harp Wang Lin was familiar with appeared. She put the harp before her and her hands touched it. Music notes began to appear, forming a sound wave that shot toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's expression was fierce as the ancient god stars between his eyebrows rotated rapidly. Popping sounds echoed from his body, but he didn't expand. Instead, his ancient god power gathered in every part of his body. With one step, space itself rumbled as the endless sound waves echoed. These sound waves were indeed strong and caused Wang Lin a certain amount of harm, but at this moment, he simply didn't care. He endured it with his powerful ancient god body and rushed forward. Seeing Wang Lin closing in, the celestial imperial concubine's face turned pale. Without hesitation, her hands formed a seal and she pressed on the harp. The harp echoed loudly and 5 sound waves appeared. 5 burial spell, heart, liver, spleen, lungs, kidney. The celestial imperial concubine let out a sharp scream. She raised her right hand and pressed down on Wang Lin. With this press, Wang Lin's body trembled and he felt intense pain. However, he was not the same as back then. He was now a mid-stage spirit void cultivator, and with his ancient god body, he could kill arcane void cultivators. The intense pain was still as unbearable as before, and his internal organs began to break, but Wang Lin was even faster. With determination and killing intent, Wang Lin threw a punch with his right hand. Thunderous rumbles echoed. The ancient head appeared before Wang Lin along with the shadows of the 3 ancient clans. All of them entered his fist as he punched. From far away, this scene looked shocking, and Wang Lin's punch caused the star system to tremble. The countless outer realm cultivators all retreated in terror. As Wang Lin punched, a shadow 10,000 feet tall flew toward the celestial imperial concubine. In an instant, this illusory punch landed on the celestial imperial concubine and collided with the ripples of her 5 burial spell. A thunderous rumble echoed across the battlefield. The illusory punch collapsed, revealing the retreating celestial imperial concubine, who was coughing up blood. Blood also flew from the corner of Wang Lin's mouth. This time, he was battling the celestial imperial concubine's original body, not a shadow like before. She was someone who didn't belong here, someone from the celestial immortal continent. The celestial imperial concubine wiped away the blood from the corner of her mouth, and the fear in her eyes became even stronger. She valued her life far more than anyone else here. She understood that she was not someone from here. This was merely a cave world, and her status was far above this cave. The more she thought this way, the more she feared death. As she retreated, Wang Lin rushed forward, ignoring his injuries, with killing intent in his eyes along with crazed determination. The pale celestial immortal concubine formed a seal and a golden light shined. The power of the celestial bloodline spread across the stars. The power of the celestial bloodline turned into a pressure that shrouded the area. Wang Lin. There is no great vendetta between us, why are you? The celestial imperial concubine's voice was sharp, but before she could finish speaking, her voice turned into a twisted scream. She gave up all celestial spells and retreated like crazy. Because as she spoke, the bow that killed the sovereign appeared in Wang Lin's hand. The moment she retreated, Wang Lin charged forward. As he moved forward, he waved his hand and the bow disappeared. He didn't want to shoot the bow, he took it out to suppress the other so the other wouldn't dare to use their spell. At this moment, as the celestial imperial concubine was retreating in fear, Wang Lin pointed at her and roared. Stop! With one word, the celestial imperial concubine's body stopped, but only for a moment. She had the celestial bloodline and was able to break free after only a moment. However, that was enough for Wang Lin to catch up. As Wang Lin closed in, his hands formed a seal and a monstrous, black wind formed black dragons. Endless rain fell and an illusionary earth appeared and shattered. It was by Fan's celestial spells. However, this was only a setup. The purpose of using these celestial spells was to use the last spell, Dark Moon Clear Sky. The moment the spell appeared, a blood moon appeared, and its shadow landed on the celestial imperial concubine's body. Dark Moon Clear Sky? Wang Lin let out a roar and a moon mark appeared on her face. A miserable scream came from her as her beautiful face was ripped open. She turned around and looked viciously at Wang Lin. She gave up on escaping and charged at Wang Lin. Thunderous rumbles echoed and their bodies collided. Their spells collided, but the celestial imperial concubine's body was knocked back. Her face was deathly pale and she coughed out blood. Wang Lin also retreated and coughed out blood. However, he only retreated a few steps before he charged forward once more. He raised his right hand and let out a roar. The war spirit print appeared. The giant palm print charged at the celestial imperial concubine the moment it appeared. The celestial imperial concubine's expression changed greatly and she quickly formed a seal, causing celestial energy to gather. A vague shadow appeared before her, and before the shadow could take shape, Wang Lin's voice entered her mind. Cultivator of the celestial immortal continent. Concubine of the Seven Tao sect master. Do you think I don't know everything? The truth was exposed, and the celestial imperial concubine's spell paused for a moment. Her eyes were filled with disbelief. She didn't expect Wang Lin to know of this. Just at this instant, there was a flash of bloodlight in Wang Lin's hand and the blood sword appeared. Wang Lin raised his hand and mercilessly sliced down. When Wang Lin killed, he always relied on his plans. Although the plans might not be amazing, at the short moments of life and death, they always played a big role. In particular, his grasp of timing had reached another level. Like how when the celestial imperial concubine was about to use her celestial bloodline spell, Wang Lin had brought out the Li Guang bow without hesitation. The moment the bow appeared, the celestial imperial concubine gave up casting the spell and escaped in fear. The celestial imperial concubine wasn't sure if Wang Lin had the determination to fire another shot. Then, when the celestial imperial concubine was forced to the limit by the war spirit print and was about to use her celestial bloodline spell again, Wang Lin said that line that shocked her. That line might have only caused the celestial imperial concubine to pause for a moment, but for cultivators, that pause was fatal. The moment the celestial imperial concubine paused in shock, the war spirit print closed in. At the same time, Wang Lin raised the blood sword and slashed down. All of this happened in a flash, fast beyond belief. A monstrous rumble echoed. The war spirit print landed and the blood sword chopped down. This was a life and death calamity for the celestial imperial concubine. Her scream slowly became faint as her body trembled and collapsed, then her soul was destroyed. Wang Lin also coughed out blood. At the moment of her death, she completed her bloodline spell. Although it was covered by the war spirit print, its power entered Wang Lin's body. It caused Wang Lin's body to tremble and he retreated another 1,000 feet as he coughed out blood. He had only killed one person and was injured himself, but it was worth it. When he killed the celestial imperial concubine, the slaughter between the inner and outer realms had already formed a river of blood. The screams of slaughter echoed across the stars. Wang Lin retreated as he coughed out blood. He was secretly adjusting himself, but he suddenly felt a moment of danger. Wang Lin avoided the danger and turned around to see a ray of sword energy pass by. The sword energy swept across the stars and ripped open a big spatial rift. The old man in black that was part of Wang Lin's life and death crisis had taken advantage of Wang Lin's injury and launched a sneak attack. The old man in black held up a sword and shot a ray of sword energy at Wang Lin. He is injured, this is the best chance to kill him. Coldness filled Wang Lin's eyes and he immediately retreated. His body turned into black gas and retreated into the outer realm army that was batting against the inner realm. The mist his body turned into spread out and shrouded the outer realm cultivators. Miserable screams echoed, and as the mist left, corpses that had been drained of vitality, flesh, and blood slowly scattered. The killing intent in the eyes of the old man in black became even stronger as he chased after Wang Lin. The mist that Wang Lin had turned into rapidly retreated, and all the outer realm cultivators it engulfed died. In just a few breaths, tens of thousands of outer realm cultivators died. At this moment, the old man in black moved even faster. With one step, he closed in on the mist that Wang Lin had turned into. He then raised his sword and mercilessly chopped down. A ray of monstrous sword energy appeared. Just as the sword energy closed in, the mist rapidly shrank and Wang Lin reformed his body. A majority of his injuries had recovered after devouring that many outer realm cultivators. At the moment his body reformed, there was a flash of killing intent in Wang Lin's eyes. As the old man closed in, Wang Lin raised his right hand. Karma formation. With this, the motionless wheel formed by the Karma formation appeared before Wang Lin. With a push from Wang Lin, the giant Karma wheel flew forward and collided with the sword the old man as he chopped down. A thunderous rumble echoed. The old man's sword energy shattered and he coughed out blood as he was knocked back. The Karma formation also collapsed and shattered. However, the loss of the formation didn't make Wang Lin feel heartache at all. Wang Lin's eyes revealed a mysterious light. He started laughing, then his hands formed a seal. His right hand formed a fist and waved. Karma formation, take form. Your sword is the karmic cause of my formation. The wheel shattering into countless pieces is the karmic effect. Karma formation, open. As Wang Lin waved his hand, the shattered karma formation turned into a cloud of chaotic gas and swept the area. There were more than 50,000 strands of karma gas. Each strand instantly changed into the sword energy that the old man had released. As a result, more than 50,000 rays of sword energy appeared. This was the karma formation. As Wang Lin waved his hand, the sword energy formed by the karma formation scattered toward the outer realm cultivators. Miserable screams echoed, and in an instant, more than rays of 50,000 sword energy killed more than 50,000 outer realm cultivators. Their deaths dyed space dark red. The celestial imperial concubine was difficult to kill, but killing an early-stage arcane void cultivator like you is easy. Wang Lin stepped through the collapsed karma formation and charged at the old man. Left hand is life, right hand is death, life and death seal. Wang Lin closed in on the old man and completely ignored the spells the old man was trying to use. His left hand pressed down, followed by his right. The life and death aura touched the old man's body and caused a thunderous rumble. The old man coughed out blood and retreated with a fierce expression. His hand started forming a seal to use a spell, but Wang Lin didn't see any of this. He closed his eyes, and at this moment, everything in the world was false. With his eyes closed, he quickly moved forward and went through the old man's spells. He arrived before the old man and pressed his right hand down on the old man's chest. His fingers clenched to form a fist and then he pulled back. Karma print. A thunderous bang echoed and the old man let out a miserable scream and retreated. A part of the old man's essence had been pulled out by Wang Lin, and at this moment, Wang Lin opened his eyes. He squeezed with his right hand and crushed a portion of the old man's essence. As the old man retreated, Wang Lin waved his left hand and his storage space opened. He grabbed all the 7 colored nails and waved his hand. Those several 7 colored nails moved at unimaginable speeds and stabbed into the old man's chest. The old man's eyes became filled with fear and blood started flowing out from the corner of his mouth, making him retreat even faster. Just as Wang Lin was about to chase, a ray of killing intent closed in. Another celestial imperial concubine that wore blue and was surrounded by blue light closed in. The moment she closed in, a blue ribbon rushed toward Wang Lin. Behind the woman, Qing Lin quickly followed. It was obvious that the three were doing battle before, but the celestial imperial concubine had escaped their attack and pursued Wang Lin. Even further away, the woman in purple from the summoned river was like a demon and had killed several Nirvana Void cultivators. She was battling the last two. The arcane Void old woman from the outer realm was battling her. The last of the 3 imperial celestial concubines was battling Master Hongshan. Master Hongshan was obviously no match, but he continued to hold her back. In the distance, a large amount of inner realm cultivators died, but more than 100,000 outer realm cultivators had died. The sounds of slaughter echoed across all heaven. Wang Lin suddenly turned around and madness appeared in his eyes. If the arcane void cultivators from the outer realm didn't die, this battle wouldn't end. The moment he turned around, his ancient god stars shined and the Emperor Furnace appeared. The moment it appeared, it expanded to cover the surrounding area, including the celestial imperial concubine and the old man in black. The Emperor Furnace released a soft energy that pushed Qing Lin out. At the same time, it devoured the man in black and the celestial imperial concubine before suddenly shrinking. Thunderous rumbles came from within the Emperor Furnace. Although it had devoured the old man in black and the celestial imperial concubine, it was very difficult to refine the two of them. As the thunderous rumbles echoed, it felt like the Emperor Furnace was going to break. Wang Lin's body moved and he sat on top of the Emperor Furnace. He then spat out blood on the Emperor Furnace and formed seal with his hands. Next, he pointed to the spot between his eyebrows and his ancient god stars flew out and landed on the Emperor Furnace. The drop of golden blood formed by the immortal celestial body flew out and he pressed it on the Emperor furnace. This caused the furnace to release a monstrous, golden light. The celestial bloodline and the ancient bloodline, I fused them into the Emperor furnace and sealed you two for 100 million years. Wang Lin waved his sleeve and his self-created spell, Flowing Time, appeared. It turned into a giant, stone door and was pressed onto the Emperor furnace. When the stone door appeared, time rapidly moved. With Wang Lin's current cultivation level, he could make time flow endlessly. Sweat appeared on Wang Lin's forehead as he was sitting on top of the Emperor furnace. His eyes were completely red and he let out a roar. Senior Qing Lin, Master Hong Shan, and Senior from the Summoned River. The three of you, hold off the last two arcane void cultivators to give me enough time to set up the life and death, karma, and true and false formation. The three of them nodded. They started working together to hold off the last two arcane void cultivators so they couldn't interrupt Wang Lin. Wang Lin's hands formed a seal while his eyes were filled with madness. This battle was a game between the seven-colored Daoist and Old Ghost Zhon. This war was something they had to carry out for a certain purpose. Then Wang Lin wouldn't mind killing all Outer Realm cultivators to end this battle. He wanted to see exactly what those two were looking for. This video will end here.